Hello everyone, welcome to iMarley. Today I want to talk about, this may seem boring, but I want to talk about over-the-air antennas and what I feel about them. And in one short, sweet sentence, I feel everyone should have one. That's it. Everyone should have an over-the-air antenna on at least one of your TVs. Even if you have a cable provider, you should have one as a backup. Okay, so I'm going to go into the top 3 reasons. There are more, but I want to just cover, to make this video brief, the top 3 reasons why I believe everyone should have it. Okay, I believe I've already mentioned as a backup. It doesn't matter how much you pay a month, who your cable provider is, or what you think of them. Eventually, outages are inevitable. I mean, they will happen. So with an over-the-air antenna, you can have that as a backup should you lose internet or cable. Some people have both, some people just stream with internet, but if you lose internet or cable, you're gonna need something on that TV, especially if you have several kids running around. So reason number 1, again, as a backup. Number 2 is if you're considering cutting the cord. I stress the word considering. Don't rush to cut the cord until you are familiar with how the broadcasting works on the antenna, how your TV gets the broadcast, how to program your TV to get the channels, because it's not like back in the old days when you can just put an antenna and turn it on. You have to actually scan for the channels. Most TVs, I think it's 2008 or newer. They all have the converter inside built in. So at this point, you should only need an antenna. Now, if your TV is older, then you may need to get a converter, which you can also buy. But if it's from 2008 or up, you're good to go. Your TV should be able to broadcast digital over-the-air channels. And also, if you're considering cutting the cord is great, but it's just cutting it may not be enough, because I know myself, for years and years and years and years, I've had cable television and I've loved it, the ease of using it. But recently my bill was approaching the $300 mark. So I had to do something. So I switched to internet only and I cut the cord to my TVs. But before I did that, I did experiment with several different antennas. I checked out streaming services, which is a whole nother video in itself. And things to adjust, because there's a lot of things that you're going to sacrifice, especially initially, that you had with cable that you're no longer going to have. Streaming services are great, but they too can add up. And you don't want to cut one bill to build up another. So with that, I'm going to go into do your research. Like I said, cutting the cord may not be enough. If your goal is to just cut the cord, and if your goal is to cut the cord and try to get the same quality service you're familiar with, it could take you a little while to figure out the ins and outs and the things that you need to get, devices you need to get, streaming services you may need to subscribe to. There's just alternatives to all of that, but it takes a while. And then there's, again, the familiarity factor where you have to get used to doing things a different way. I tell you though, it's worth it in the long run because you will save yourself a ton of money. Now, reason number 3 is if you know someone that's elderly, that's home alone, or someone that's bedridden. I want to touch on this in another video because it's a very long story, and I worked for a cable provider, and I did get lots of phone calls from elderly people home alone who their TV service just suddenly went out. And it's midnight, it's not like a technician's gonna go out there. Meanwhile, you have someone that's elderly, home alone, and now they, maybe they can't sleep for whatever reason, but now they have a blank television that they're staring at. I'm going to go into a lot of different reasons that happens, but it's just something that you want them to have as a backup. Connected to, if you have somebody that's elderly or bedridden, grandparents, parents, connect an antenna to their TV. They're not that expensive. You can get a decent working one for less than $15. I do notice the difference in price doesn't make the difference in the service that you get. It's all about the placement of the antenna. So that's again another video. And you know, outages are inevitable. It's going to happen no matter what service or how much you're paying for your services. And you should always have a backup antenna on at least one TV in your home. So I am currently working on putting more information on my website, imarley.com. You can head on over there and check it out for more info and subscribe with your email, and so you can get automatic updates as I post the information. But this is a topic that not many people talk about, and it can be quite boring if you don't know what you're saying. But what really gets me is the people that rely on TV, that it's their companion. You know, we have widowed elderly people out there, and you know, it breaks my heart when they called and I couldn't do anything for them. And they had no backup. They couldn't even find the remote control to their TV. That's another story that I'm gonna get to. But make sure that if you do get the antenna going on anyone's TV, they know where the original remote for their TV is, because they are going to need that should they ever have to use their backup method, which would be over-the-air antenna. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching this. I try to keep it as brief as possible. I can go on and on about this topic. If you have any questions, anybody that you know that's home alone, or if you want any tips on whatever, if I don't know the answer, I can certainly find it for you. I want to thank you all for watching my video. Again, this is iMarley. Please like, subscribe, comment, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell, because most definitely more is coming. I have a lot of stories to share from my time working with a cable provider. I'm not going to bash them, so no, don't expect that. But I will share my experiences working one-on-one with their clients, and a lot of things that went through my mind as I spoke to them that I couldn't really relate to them while I was speaking to them. So thank you again for watching. Don't forget, hit that notification bell for more useful cutting the cord tips. My name is iMarley. Bye-bye.